Welcome to another Fireside Chat Tuesday. We know we like to have these here. Hopefully everybody can hear me just good. Um, Before I start off and getting down our normal chat, just want to let you guys know this episode, this live stream is powered by InCamp. Those of you that don't know who InCamp is, they are changing the EHS profession um, by keeping compliance, keeping you in compliance. They are an it's a platform that's going to keep you covered for all your tier two. It is tier two season, so hopefully, you are all your tier two EPCRA reports. InCap's got you covered. It's an easy platform that supports every state's tier two reporting portal, so you can submit right there from the portal. Uh, and if you have 50 facilities, one in each state, they got you covered all the way down to, what you have to do. They even pay your fees for you. So stop dreading that tier 2 season. Go ahead and take back your Q1. If you want to go learn more about InCamp and how to make your EHS reporting a little more simple, a little more beneficial, go over to incap.com/X Factor. Again, that's incamp.com/X Factor. So, how's everybody doing? Again, Nathan, good to see you, brother. Thank you for being in the chat. Um, so yeah, some things and some news about what's going on here at the X Factor Safety. We like to do certain events that are beneficial to you and to what's going on around, obviously around the world in the EHS. But October, the first week of October, is going to be really, really special. It's going to be epic, to say the least. The first day, October 5th, that we will be live, we have Mark Hernandez on. We will be diving into, Hispanic Heritage Month. Greatly appreciate everybody that's showing up in the chat. What's going on, Shane? Reggie, my man, what's going on, brother? We have Mark Hernandez speaking about Hispanic heroes. It's the end of Hispanic Heritage Month, so we figured we'd dive into that, get a little culture going, and then after that we have Emily Elrod, who will be on the show, as well as Tiffany Castano. I will be going to the HR office, and again, we have to bridge those gaps of HR and safety. We work hand in hand. They're two peas in a pod in a sense. We are looking out for the greater good of companies, but then we are also, making sure that the employee and our greatest assets are taken care of. Uncle Al, hey, how you doing? Hey, Jesus, good to see you, brother. Sean Grady. Sean said, Mark, you're the man. Alex Norwood, hey, everybody. What's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. And again, these fireside chats are for you. They are for what you got going on and things that you want to talk about and to listen to. So again, we are here for everybody that's coming in the chat box. Anybody that wants to talk about it. We're going to be actually dipping into some X Factor follower suggested topics. So one of the topics that came up, and let me pull it up because I don't have it readily available. Yes, I do. I'm sorry. So the question is challenges that safety professionals face in the industry when applying for jobs or that are seeking a bunch of requirements such as the CSP, master's degree, bachelor's degree. Um, for somebody that's new getting into the industry that doesn't have, say the 5 years of experience that they're asking for, what kind of challenges come with that? And also, second question to kind of tailor that, what certs are more beneficial um, to a new safety pro getting into the industry, whether it be construction or general industry? What type of certs are good? Um, so I would definitely like to hear you guys in the chat help this fellow safety pro out. And again, she's a follower of the X Factor of Safety. She likes the fireside chats, and so we definitely want to help everybody out here and get some insight to out there in the world. So first off, let me say the job descriptions have over the past 8 or 9 years have changed drastically. They used to be very vague in a sense, and not vague in the requirements or the job description. They were vague in what exactly you were going to be doing. Um, Now they've gotten very, very detailed. And with that being very detailed, you know, somebody coming fresh out of college with a bachelor's or a master's degree in occupational safety and health, we get that you have the theory, but they're asking for all these things in relation to your experience. And a lot of times you have people that have interned, the last 2 years, their junior year and their, senior year of college. Does that count towards work experience that some of these job descriptions are asking for? Let me see. Shane says the 5'10", 5'11" for sure. Yes. And the 5'10" and 5'11" for those that aren't safety pros but listening and getting engaged and knowing, a little bit about what we do here. The 5'10" is the OSHA 5'10". It's the general standards. They teach you how to dive into the standards of construction. 5'11" ends up being the same thing, diving into the standards, how to look up the standards, how to look in the book, but for general industry. And two great certs, great classes to go to um, if you are a newer safety professional getting into this. Depending on the industry, CHST for construction, OHST for general industry. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it. But again, I like that because CHST and OHST for general industry, um, those are great certifications. Another one, I think, my man Sheldon Primus, he always is an advocate because he teaches this. The COS and the COSM are also two great ones that you should look into. Not saying, it might not be your cup of tea to get that certification. You also have to weigh out, what your employer is looking for. What is something that they are wanting? Are they wanting you to have CHST? Are they wanting you to have the 500 and the 501 to be able to teach the workforce the OSHA 10 and 30 in, those respective fields? You know, Safety Sam, what's going on, Sam? The certs will always be based off career goals. Simply put, pull up 2 or 3 jobs you want in the future and start working down their list of requirements. That's a good insight right there. Good insight. Shane, these people post requirements based on what they see on other job postings. Recruiters have no idea what it takes to even earn some of these. I can agree with that, Shane. Again, they copy and paste what's out there. They copy and paste and not knocking all um, recruiters, not knocking all the job postings that are out there. Trust me, I am not, hating on that. But there is a lot. You look at one job posting and then say 10 down the road, you see the exact same job description, verbatim, maybe a word or two here or there, they probably copied from, the one you were looking at or something similar. And again, if they're looking for the same things, I understand, but you have to understand what it takes as a recruiter. And this is where another one, this is where I would like to have a recruiter on here, and talk about the recruiting process for an EHS professional. Obviously not getting into too much detail and giving their, I wouldn't say trade secrets, but their people that they work with, the companies that they're recruiting for away, but to see the process behind a recruitment of an EHS professional. What are they actually looking for? What are they vetting down the line? How are they asking the questions? How are they getting the engagement from a safety professional or a new safety professional to see if they're a right fit or not? Because I I think that you should talk to an EHS professional that's been in the game for a while, that's been around, and then kind of pick their brain. Hey, what's going on in the industry right now? Because if you look at some of the stuff that's going on, the job descriptions and what it takes is outdated. It's 5-10 years old. So, Safety Sam, truth is, it takes time to build what employers are looking for in senior safety positions. Be willing to start in a lower safety role to build experience while working towards your desired certs. Your necessary experience and certification may come together at the same time. And I totally agree. Again, you got to start somewhere. So do not get discouraged if you start down at the bottom, as a safety coordinator, a safety specialist. Uh, you know, Obviously you want to jump into that safety manager position right away. You want to get there. I really get it, but you have to start somewhere. So once you get your start, then you'll be able to further advance your career. While you're a safety coordinator with your 2 years of experience, fresh out of college, then start working towards your 5'10" and 5'11", get you some standards, go, 2 or 3 more years of experience as a safety specialist, a safety coordinator. And then once you have your 5'10", 5'11", you already have 5 years under your belt. Guess what? Now you can go for your 500 and 501. You've already been in the industry for 5 years. You know how to dive into the standards. Then you'll be able to go for, like I said, your 500, your 501, and become an instructor. Because again, the instructor course, the 501 and 500, they don't teach you about the standards. You should already know about the standards. They teach you how to be a trainer, and you actually have to go and give a presentation. You have to go train to be a trainer. It's like a trainer course. So once you meet that requirement and you can go train, you then get to go get and give OSHA 10s and OSHA 30s in that respective field: construction, general industry, maritime, whatever you're doing. I see Safety Sam is lighting up the chat. And the thing is, even the companies are listing these requirements because somebody told them they are needed. Like, I know how many companies that do construction on military bases need a CSP on staff. I've known insurance companies to require CSPs on staff for high risk companies. Yes, and again, it's they're being told this, but sometimes what they're being told is not always the case, right? Um, but then a lot of times it is. I mean, who knows? I mean, only the company knows their needs, and if they don't know their needs, then they'll be able to reach out to somebody like the safety pros that are on here, myself. Hey, what do you think about this? We're starting this new job. What would I need? How would I go about finding somebody with X, Y, and Z credentials or X, Y, and Z experience? And then I would shoot them over to Tony Taylor and be like, hey, Tony, need to hook somebody up with a job. And it's probably going to be a veteran. Anunfo, this is good stuff. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. Tony Taylor, what's up, Pedro? You're killing it, my man. These are some great topics. That's what we're here for. We're here for you. we're here for everybody that's willing to learn and wants to grow. I'm willing to grow with you. So, but yeah, it's definitely, um, my man Tony. Let's do it. It's definitely important to understand, and like Sam had said early on, understand your career path. If you understand your career path and where you want to take certain things and how you want to accomplish them, then set yourself up. I get kind of like a vision board. You'll be able to set yourself those goals, that plan in order to reach that. Um, but do not get discouraged because we all had to start from the bottom. We all had to start somewhere. And, with that being said, is it beneficial to have the certs? And I know I touched on this on a couple of live streams ago, but is it more beneficial to have the certification and the experience, or is it beneficial to go to school, get your degree, and then go for your certs? Like, do you just jump into the workforce and start learning hands on? Or is it you go to school, you learn the theory, you get your master's degree or your bachelor's degree, you go grab your CSP, and then you're ready to tackle on that new role. Now, safety is key to success. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So again, it's definitely one of those you have to weigh your options. Where do you sit along, in the company right now? If you're an EHS professional just new to the company and you're thinking about moving your career forward, you're thinking about becoming and jumping to the next level. Maybe, the corporate safety director position came open and you want to, uh, you know, apply for that. You are in that company, you know what's going on. But then again, a lot of times that corporate safety director, they want a CSP, they want somebody with the master's degree, somebody that has 10, 15, 20 years experience. um, so it's one of those, and this topic, it comes up a lot, but it's one of those where you have to weigh your options and kind of see what's out there in the market, what's going on, and use your community in a sense to vet whatever you might be looking for. If you end up needing help, reach out to somebody that's been in the game for 10, 15 years and see, hey, are they doing this? um, is this a good role? Is this what they're asking for? But again, it's all about what your needs are. It's all about how you see your plan and how it fits. What's going on, Jamal? Once again, late to the party. It's okay. It's okay. You're here. You're here with us. We greatly appreciate you. Shane, man, I have so many things to say here, but that's way too much to type. I can send you an invite and we can get on. You can hop on. Let's see, Tony. I got a master's and still don't know nothing. Hey, yeah, you do, man. Yeah, you're inspiring people. It's a mix of education and experience. And again, it really is, because you have the education, and the way I look at it is you go to school to learn the theory behind the occupational safety and health, right? To the health and safety of what you're doing, whether it be in construction, whether it be general industry, whether it be firefighting, whether it be industrial hygiene. You're learning the theory behind what you're going to specialize in, and then when you get out to the field, you get your experience. You have your theory, right? And now you make it practical when you're out in the field to be able, um, to put that education and that theory into play. But again, sometimes it doesn't mean that your theory is always going to be right. Somebody out in the field maybe has figured out that um, maybe there was a easier way to do things. There was a safer yet less strenuous way to do things. So again, it could be that. Um, Tony Taylor said, and hard work. My man, Safety Sam, too funny. I was thinking about the same thing. LinkedIn user, good evening, Pedro. Let me know who you are. I hate when it does that. LinkedIn, we got to get that fixed. Got to give us the user. Who are you? Please let me know in the chat because we like talking to you. Uh, yep, I got a train in my pocket. Yep, it's right in my pocket, brother. Just making sure y'all were listening. So yeah, I'm close to the train. Sorry about that if you heard the train. I tried to turn down my mic so that way you didn't hear it on the output side. But hey, it's what happens. We're live, raw, uncut here with you guys. So again, back to the topic. It's you get your experience, you put in the hard work to learn, and the people that you are keeping safe are the best ones to learn from. Your workforce are the best ones to learn from because they've been doing it. And I don't like using that, they've done it for 20 years, but 20 years of experience is 20 years of experience. They've done it for 20 years. Um, so ask them. You get there, you see them doing something. Ask them. And I do this. I constantly do this. Instead of saying, hey, well, the book says you shouldn't be doing it that way, ask them, hey, why are you doing it that way? And then they'll tell you, well, because X, Y, and Z. And then you can say, okay, well, because, you know, of this standard or, this best practice, how about you do it your way? Just add the extra safety measure, the extra safety, um, checklist or process or procedure, however you want to tackle that, and that way you get the engagement from them. They say, "Oh, okay, this EHS professional, this safety pro is gonna, you know, let me continue doing it, but they're watching out for my best interest." So then you start getting the engagement and getting them there with you and being able to drive your safety culture. And okay, yes, the LinkedIn user, Doc. Hey, how are you doing, Linda? My man Colton, big dog. What's going on? Tony Teller, yes, speak. I love it. I love it when you guys are in the chat. Safety Sam, Shane, we think alike. After all the red spell check lines, I deleted mine too. Hey, it's okay. If it's spell check, that means it's real. That means it's you. We already talked about this. Nathan Bennett. I have 7 years in safety. Started out as a regional safety person. Only have OSGA 1030 with some other certs now. A senior safety. I work for a very large company and wanting more certs. Hey, that's the way you do it. If you were able to, again, 7 years in safety, started out. And again, he said he's learning every day, as everybody is. We are all learning. Me personally, I started, as an actual worker coming out of the Navy. I had one admin job. I was a medical records clerk, and then after that, I didn't like that, so I wanted to work with my hands. I started working in the petrochemical industry, working in the refineries down in Texas, and that's where I got a lot of my experience. Somebody gave me the opportunity to be a safety coordinator on one turnaround, and then I thought about what they were doing. I seen what this other safety people were doing, and ended up enjoying it. I grew a passion for what they were doing because they weren't only handing out tokens or gift cards or having big luncheons. They were actually going and making sure everybody was going home safe and sound. Um, so that's where I started my path down, and now 10 going on 11 years in to the safety world. And again, through that 11 years, certs, OSHA 10, OSHA 30, you're 5'10", 5'11", like Shane had said. Um, so it's definitely a big part to understand where you're going. Um, what you're going to be doing. What is your end goal? What is your why? And how are you going to get there? And I talked about this yesterday, but you can change the plan all the time. You can change the plan many a times. You can adapt, overcome the obstacles. You can change the plan, pivot, but as long as you don't change that end goal, you are going to be golden. Don't ever change the end goal, because when you change the end goal, you are going to start regretting and telling yourself, what would have happened? What could have happened had I reached that goal? What would I have been? Where would I have been? Where would I have gone had I kept on that path to reach that goal? Right? So don't ever change the goal. You can change the path all day long. Just don't change the goal. All right, Shane. Leaders in any capacity should be teaching at least one person to take their job. Yes, safety positions are so sacred that we don't have enough mentors at the director level training new guys in the trade. I'm fortunate to have an Alan Wolford um, raise me and point me in the right direction. Yes, my man Alan is a great one, and greatly appreciate what he has done, over the years for the community, and again, bringing somebody up. But and to your point, your point right there, Shane, is really important. You should be training at least one person to take your job. Now, the reason being is because obviously, when you start thinking about your next move, your next position, you got to also think, okay, it's going to be the next position up. So, who are you going to bring up through the ranks to fill your shoes, to fill your position? You got to think about that. So, anybody that you end up training, anybody that you end up um, bringing up through the ranks with you, train them well enough so that way one day they can do what you do. They can have your job. If you want to go on vacation, and I read a post the other day by Michael King, had him on the show. Shout out, Michael. But he said that he was on vacation and he did not think about work very much because he had his counterpart, somebody that he's training to bring up there, handling the day to day business. It is a great practice to do. It's a good practice to bring somebody up through the ranks, somebody that is able to do what you do. Because guess what's going to happen? You go on vacation, you have something happen, and you're away from work. Guess what? That person can then step up and do what you do with no problem. So, Linda, I'm hoping that I get great groups that interact like you do with such great thoughts, Pedro. When I eventually go live, you will. You will. I will make sure that you have a bunch of people in the chat. These guys are on it. Sam, safety Sam, yes, petrochemical, sweet. Didn't know you started there as well. If safety is played with the whole crew who die, no games there. Yes, again, you don't play with especially in the petrochemical, the chemical plants, the oil field. Um, it's definitely one of those jobs that you have to go through a buttload of training in order to, get accepted to go into these plants. And then after that, you do your job and you go through so much training, your has whoppers and whatnot, in order to be able to just get in the plant. So and do what you're doing. Cross training is a good practice. Yes, it is. And again, cross training, and that's why I like to have people that aren't just construction, aren't just general industry. I'm having, the HR personnel that are coming in. We got some people coming up through the ranks that'll be here in October, and it's good so that way we can all learn from each other, and that way if you're cross training somebody, you're able to, again, I would like to say go do their job. But again, if you're a safety professional, you're not going to go out and, you know, become a welder. But if you understand what a welder does by picking up a welder and learning, right, alongside one of your senior welders, somebody that's been doing it for a while, you can see the troubles that they're having. You can see the the wins that they get when and how prideful they are when they have a good weld and the good piece goes out and it passes inspection the first time. Those types of things. Jesus, preach. I seen. Oh, there we go. Jesus said, I personally did the school then certification route. It was hard to find someone to teach me seriously when I was looking for an opportunity to gain some experience. I was blessed to find somebody who took a chance on me. I had to start at low pay, but gained plenty of experience. And again, appreciate that comment and giving us a little piece of you there, Jesus. Um, again, it definitely, you know, you are able to get a job and land a job. And like Jesus said, he started on the education route and then the certs. So, and he also said that he took a lower pay, but you gain, you might have to do that your first job coming out in order to get that experience. But then once you have that experience, you have that education behind you, your next job, your next endeavor, your next, you know, locale that you end up going to, or even, the safety director that you have, the person that's above you is fixing to, retire. He's fixing to get out. She's fixing to get out. You end up moving up the ranks and getting into that position because you're at that company. You're the next in line, and so forth. Sam Hawker, Catch 22. I did that, but I was the highest guy. That layoff didn't feel as good as I thought it would. Yeah, no, I mean, I totally get you. That Cat's 22 there. So, but I greatly appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. This is epic, epic, and it's only gonna get better. And again, like I said in the beginning, just this live stream is powered by Encamp. Those of you that don't know Encamp, if you're just tuning in, Encamp is a software that and a platform that you'll be able to, keep your compliance. EHS professionals stay in compliance with Encamp. If you're tired of spreadsheets to manage, if your digital compliance is all one-stop shop, you can go there. You'll have all your forms, everything that you need, so that way you can be more streamlined, more efficient. Again, learn more about Encamp and how it can save you and your team time and money. Because again, your superiors are going to look and how are you going to save me money as a safety professional? Bring this up. My directors that are out there, hey, go check out Encamp. Encamp.com/X Factor. If you want to learn more about what they do and how they can help you stay in compliance, how they can help you streamline your processes. Again, it is a one-stop shop for the EHS professional tier 2, as well as all of your documentation compliance. So, but yeah, I mean, I hope that our follower that had these questions got some insight this evening on what's going on where you would take the path, credentials that are important, the certs that are important. Me personally, here's my list. Um, you have your 510, 511, like Shane said. You have your 500 and 501, as well as me personally. I love construction, your CHST, but do not be discouraged from getting your OHST. If you get your 500 and 501, you're doing both general industry and construction. And then you can go ahead and do the general industry and construction certification, the CHST and the OHST. And then once you get you some experience behind you, you have all these certs, you then can go, and this is my personal order, uh, SMS, right, for construction, and then eventually CSP for general industry. Excuse me. Got a little tickle there. It's because I talk too darn much. So, but I greatly appreciate everybody that's been in the chat, that's been here. We hope we got you a little bit of value this evening on this fireside chat. Again, thank you very much. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Um, so before we go, again, please tune in. First week of October is going to be jam packed live stream. Um, Not to mention uh, the visitors that we've had and I've mentioned have all been guests, and I greatly appreciate you. And I'm gonna start at the very top. Uh, Nathan Bennett, greatly appreciate you in there. Shane Oliver, Reggie, greatly appreciate you. Alan, thank you, sir. Jesus Valencia, thank you for tuning in. Shane Grady, thank you. Again, these are all shout outs. Alexander Norwood, thank you for tuning in, brother. Thank you for your service. Safety Sam, my man. So I greatly appreciate you being in there. Um, Tony Taylor, Tony Arnulfo Martinez, thank you for tuning in. Jamal Marshall, hey brother, thank you again for tuning in. Go down the line here. Dr. Linda Martin, thank you for tuning in. Let me see who did I miss. Didn't miss anybody. That's all the people that were in the chat. Everybody that was looking, watching. Um, those that were watching on other platforms. Robert Villarreal, Alex Gonzalez, Antonio Valdez, and Roger Campbell. Thank you guys. So before I end this fireside chat, again, I thank you for taking the time out this evening and coming with us. It's gonna be jam packed, like I said, in October. Keep tuning in, keep spreading that positivity out there, and make a positive impact on somebody's life. If that's the one thing that you're able to do is make an impact on somebody's life, that's where your greatness is going to come into play. Because you make an impact and you don't see the successes right now, but that impact that is helping that person out goes a long way. They become successful, and then you are able to smile and put a smile on your face by helping somebody put a smile on theirs. Okay, so that's closing comments, closing thoughts of the day. I greatly appreciate you. Um, so with that being said, y'all already know what questions coming next. Think about it. What is your X factor?